Hi, it's Mandy back with another video. So this video today was one of my first direct requests that I have not discussed with a parent of a child or an adolescent who is diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder. So the question to me was, how do we connect with those diagnosed with autism spectrum disorders, especially kids? Thank you for this question. I love it. Let me say first that this can be really helpful for those of you who are not familiar with or don't have any young people in your immediate circle who are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorders. What I think the parents of these kiddos diagnosed would want you to know are a couple things about what they would prefer and how you interact or approach the kids. One, I think that most families are not approached in the manner that they would like to be approached in to be able to have someone interact with their kid. For example, let me just piggyback on that. And I would guess that a lot of families aren't approached much. So the right way to approach and the frequency is probably two of the things that I have heard parents tell me in the past that have been problematic. So what to do if you'd like to approach a child? Well, the first thing that you're going to do is check in with the parent, right? That's common sense. You're not probably going to approach a child in a non-professional setting without consent from the parents. So you might just say something like you would to any kid that you see in a grocery store. Oh, he's so cute. Or, oh, how are you? May I talk to him? Or can I ask him how he's doing? Something like that. You're always going to ask parent permission, maybe not in that exact way. So you might, before you do this, you might want to just observe for a little bit. You don't want to be, gawking or staring, but you might want to just kind of take in the situation and think to yourself, does this look like an appropriate time? Are there any problematic behaviors going on that maybe it's not a good time to intervene or approach the family or the child? And if it is, if everything looks calm and looks like, everything's going pretty well, then, ask the parents. The one thing that you probably wouldn't do, and again, I'm speaking from a lens that it's common sense that you would get parental consent before speaking to a child that you don't know. In our culture here in America, that would be probably frowned upon unless there are subcultures or patches in the areas that are smaller and okay with that. But generally, you would want to get parent consent even to approach a child any closer than probably 3 feet away. So first, consent. If the parents are receptive and, are letting you engage, you might want to ask them, what do they like? Or if this is maybe past meeting someone in a store or passing by, that maybe you're in a social situation in the community, like a community park or something, where you're kind of hanging out with these people for a little bit longer, or you're in the vicinity a little bit longer to have these interactions. So maybe the kid approaches you and you don't know what to do and they touch you. And of course you have to be cautious as an adult if it's a young child, of course, because you don't know them. But you might ask the parent, is it okay, to touch the hand, or, does your child like touched or not? And again, this is in a completely innocent way, but some kids who are diagnosed with spectrum disorders really can connect with a sense of touch. So this is absolutely something that you would want to ask permission and consent from the family first before you do this, but you absolutely would not want to just reach out. And again, this might be a cultural difference in some places, and touch a child, especially with an autism spectrum disorder, one, without consent, but two, they might be extra sensitive to touch and they might really, really dislike it. So I wouldn't really encourage you to do that unless it was a conversation with a parent. On the other hand, I know these kids can be incredibly touchy and approach you, and with it appears to have no boundaries. I'm just going to say it that way. And, they just come right at you like young kids do sometimes. So definitely ask parental consent. The other thing is just, again, you might ask what they like to do. If you're in a park, for example, this is where the observe comes in. If you see them on a swing, you might want to ask if you can see them on the swing for a while, if you can push them, if the child really kind of wants to make a new friend with you. But again, be very, very cautious with this with parents. So this video, all of the things I said are with the assumption that the parents are receptive and open to you approaching with explicit consent. So I hope that this helps. Again, not much different than what you would do with a child who is not diagnosed in this non-spectrum spectrum category. So leave some comments below if you have any other further questions about this. I'll be happy to do another video about it. Thanks for watching.